Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Ultimate Minecraft Server Series. I'm your host, Sam Larder34. In the last episode, we got your server up and running. Today, we're going to secure it from griefers and hackers using plugins. Are you ready to go? Let's do this. You have an idea to make Minecraft better. Are you ready? Let's build it. Okay, we're back. We just got our server started. I've begun to build out things that I like. And it really brings us to the point of this episode. We need to make sure that the server is protected because right now in its vanilla state, there's nothing stopping anybody from coming in and just destroying the place. They can come in, they can kill your hard work, and I'm going to teach you how to stop them from doing that by putting in some simple plugins into your server. Case in point. This guy has just joined my server and he's already come in and destroying the building that I just spent the last 20 minutes working on. Now, this isn't too bad. I mean, I can rebuild this quick enough, but I mean, if you've spent an hour building like a town and some guy just comes and just starts destroying it, that's no good for anybody. So we're going to install some plugins that are going to help you prevent exactly this from happening. Those plugins are Grief Prevention, which is going to lock down the property so people can't edit what you've been working on. Core Protect, which allows you to roll back damage that a person may have done on unprotected property, as well as we're going to install a ban manager so that you can manage your players a lot simpler and do commands like /kick, /ban, /mute, /temp mute, you get the idea. It allows you to easily deal with jokers like this. You can just simply go /ban, they're gone. But we're going to go over that later on in this video. I've got 3 plugins for you to install to protect your server. Core Protect, Grief Prevention, and Ban Manager. I'm going to put those links in the description so you don't have to go searching the internet for it. That should give you a head start. Now they're super easy to install. Just head over to the pages for them, click the links in the description. Alright, let's get going. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make sure that nobody can grief your properties. And to do that, you're going to need a plugin called Grief Prevention. I've put the link down in the description for you, so it should be fairly easy for you to get and download. Just go ahead and download. Hit download, and once you've got the file, all you really need to do is just move it into your plugins folder in your server directory. The same directory that we were working with in our last episode. Just go ahead and drag that right into plugins. Once it's in plugins, go into your console and type restart, and that will cause your server to reload. In this case, it didn't. I'll show you why later, but for now we're just going to rerun the command that we used last time to get our server started. And this time when it comes back up, it's going to have the Grief Prevention installed. As you can see, it's loading the area maps and we're about ready to go. Once it's done, now we're ready to go back into the game and log into our server. Okay, so we're going to log back into our server. And I'll show you really quick how Grief Prevention works. So in the game, anybody who has a golden shovel is able to lay claims. So I'm just going to go into creative and I'm going to get myself a gold shovel. Okay? Now using the gold shovel, you right click on the corners of the area that you want to protect. So in this case here, I'm going to pick this corner and I'm going to protect up to this corner. And as you can see, claim corner set, use the shovel game to resize. So if I wanted to resize this, I would click here and then I can resize it like this, just right clicking on the mouse. So what this has done is created a claim that allows me to build without having to worry about anybody breaking my stuff. If he had come back and tried to light my house on fire or pour lava on it, he'd get an error message saying he wasn't allowed to build there and he'd have to go on his merry way. So this is Grief Prevention. There's a bunch of other things that you can do with it. For example, when you're op, you have all of these commands with Grief Prevention. I highly recommend that you go through the help file. And to do that, you just go /help Grief Prevention and it'll show you all of the commands that it can do. So there's abandon all claims. Obviously it deletes all your claims, just like it says. I mean, this is very, very simple stuff. Admin claims switches your shovel into admin mode, which allows you to set down claims that don't count against your personal claim blocks. But it's more of something that if you want to protect a spawn, a really large area, and you don't want it counting against blocks, you would use that instead. One of the most important commands of grief prevention is the ability to give claim blocks to other players. And the way that you do that is you use the adjust bonus claim blocks command. That allows you to give extra claim blocks to players for things. That allows you to give extra claim blocks to players if they don't have quite enough to cover their land and they need more. You as the you as the owner are able to give them more claim blocks so they can claim their land. There's a lot more to go into with grief prevention. However, I'm going to save that for another video because it can be quite comprehensive. I'm going to be doing later in this series a focus on plugins so that we can kind of dive in deep and really go in strong. But for now, all you need to know is that grief prevention will allow your players to be able to claim some land so that they don't have to worry about their buildings being destroyed, and that you use the golden shovel and right click on the ground to create your claim spaces. So the second plugin that we're going to use is called Core Protect. Now Core Protect is an interesting logging plugin. It allows you to log every single block that's been placed, every item that's been put into a chest, and allows you to track who's done what, where, when, and why, and also allows you to roll back any of those actions. And this is important if you have somebody who comes and say creates a lava monster on your map and just creates an ungodly mess. Core Protect allows you to roll back the actions of just that player within a certain time frame, within a certain region, without hurting any of the rest of your map. So again, with Core Protect, just click the link in the description, come to the download page and hit download now. Hit keep, and once it's done downloading, drop it into your plugins folder. Okay, there it is. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit restart. And then we're going to run our command to run the server again, and that will load in Core Protect. As you can see, it's enabling Core Protect. And once it's done, now we can go back into the game. Okay, so far we've installed Grief Prevention and Core Protect, and I'll show you how Core Protect works. Core Protect is a command line utility, so most of the activating of it will be done through your command line. So the first thing we're going to do with Core Protect is go into what's known as Core Inspect. And what Core Inspect allows us to do is actually to see who's done what, where, and why. So we're going to type in /co inspect to turn on the tool. And now whenever we click a block, as you can see, Core Protect will tell us what data is available in that. Because we've just installed it, it doesn't have any data. So I'm going to turn off Core Inspect, and I'm going to change some of this so you can see kind of what's going on here. So I've gone ahead and I've removed the grass blocks, I've put in some logs. I'm going to turn on Core Inspect again, and when I click on it, you can see it actually tells you who placed it and what they removed in the process. Now if you've got a griefer coming in and say this was grief damage and we wanted to roll that back, how we would do that is go col rollback and then the username like this, user semicolon, the username, time, we'll say 1 hour in a radius of 20. So in 20 blocks around, or we're going to roll back the actions 1 hour. That's what this command does. So when I hit click OK, as you can see, it puts everything back to normal. And this is great for restoring the wild when you've got griefers coming on and just completely trying to destroy your map. This is the most frustrating thing you can do to them because it doesn't matter what they do to your map, you can erase all of the damage in no time. Alright, so now we've got Core Protect and Grief Prevention installed. The last one that we're going to install is Ban Manager. Ban Manager is going to make it super simple for you to manage your players and to get rid of players who are causing you issues and making sure that they never come back. So again, click the link in the description for the Ban Manager. Go to download now, click keep. Once it's downloaded, we're going to drop that into the plugin folder just like everything else. I mean, this really shows the power of Spigot. When you're able to extend the server using plugins, and I mean there are a ton of plugins out there, there's so many things that you can do, but even just simple things like protecting your server and being able to kick off players who are causing trouble, I think that should be a standard requirement on any Minecraft server. And it really kills me seeing all of these players running realms and not really having the kind of the fine control that you would have as you would have on a Spigot server. Okay, so it's done downloading. We're going to drop that into our plugins folder. And again, we're going to restart. And it's going to save the map. We're going to restart the server, get that up and running. Okay, so the server's coming back up. You can see that it enabled Core Protect and that it enabled Ban Manager and Grief Prevention. So all 3 plugins are loaded now, and we're going to head back into the server. Okay, great. Now that we've got Ban Manager installed, do /help ban manager, and it will tell you all of the commands that you can do with Ban Manager. Ban IP. These are great for players who are causing problems and you don't want them coming back. If you're running a cracked server, oftentimes what will happen is they'll just come in under a different username, so ban won't do the trick. Oftentimes what you'll have to do in that case is use ban IP, so it blocks their IP address, and it doesn't matter what alt they come in under, they're just banned. They won't be able to come back unless they're using a VPN, but VPNs can get expensive after 5 or 6. So typically if you have someone who's really persistent, after 5 or 6 bans, they typically go away and try somewhere else. Highly recommend that once you have these plugins installed, you go through the help file and read as much as you can and really play with the commands. Obviously, I mean, if something's dangerous, wait until nobody's on the server, make a backup of your server. Just be very careful. It's important that you understand these commands before you run them in their entirety. Okay, so that wraps up episode 2, keeping your server safe. In our next episode, we're going to be focusing on building a spawn and how you can do that quickly without having to spend hours and hours and hours. In fact, we're going to show you how to get some pre-built spawns that you can just literally drop into your map, and I'm going to show you how to do that. As well, I'm going to show you how to fix damage like this easily in no time flat. Instead of spending 10 minutes trying to get rid of all of this lava, I'll show you how to get rid of it in one command. I hope you learned something in the episode, and in the meantime, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to try and answer your questions in the next videos coming up. Please like and share the video, and if you're on YouTube, hit the little bell to make sure that you're getting the next update. In the meantime, this is SamLander34 signing off.